welcome to Boneyard Gaming's next deck guide, and I'm all over the place with this one. In fact, I've got two lists that we're going to talk about. The video's only going to be on one list, but I was just tinkering around with the list right before I made the video, and I actually have another option that I want to play with, but I've already spent 2 days gathering games to play with this list. So I'm going to go forward with the video, but I'm going to show you both lists. I'm going to post both lists, and I'm going to, in fact, go play more of the second list. So I've got a boost list and a damage list, depending on, you know, what kind of meta you're feeling. The video will be over the damage side. So we went kind of more dwarves and damage, but you could also do dryads and boost with Nature's Gift. So two options, two deck lists, one set of videos though. But it's going to be on Nature's Gift. We were playing the Team Kreve's Precision Strike Devotion list, which is a fantastic list. In fact, I might just put that in the description because I'll reference it a lot through the deck guide here. But there's a lot to like about Scoiatael right now in my mind, and that Precision Strike Devotion list is fantastic as well. I was playing that. I ran into a few issues with it though that kind of made me want to switch to try something else and tinker around, and hence what came to be these two lists. So the thing about Nature's Gift is symbiosis. Every time you play a bronze nature card, you'll get a wandering token spawn, which is super nice. We went with tactical advantage. I felt like because we're spawning so many of those tokens, it's okay to go tall on very small units, so no big deal there. Oneiromancy, gosh, so much value here. I'll tell you what, in an ideal situation, if I don't see Oneiromancy till say I got a good one-round hand, but no Oneiromancy in there, and I can win round one, and then you get Oneiromancy round two, and then bleed, and then know you're going to get Oneiromancy back for Gourd, is fantastic. Look, the chances of that happening are rare. A lot of conditions have to be met for that to happen, but you know, be mindful of it. It's happened. We've used it to our advantage. Again, the thing I like about this list is we can, you know, win or lose round one. We can bleed or survive a bleeding in round two, and do well in a long or short round three. You know, and same thing. Like I said, if you go all in round one and pass and go to round three, or lose and pass and go into a long round three, the list can really take, you know, handle all elements of it. And that was actually the big difference that I ran into with the Precision Strike list. I felt like it was only really set up for long rounds. So again, Oneiromancy, really nice. Obviously, since it's a special card, it'll help out your Gourd. Force Protector, you know, in any list that's running Gourd, he's almost an auto-include. You know, we've got a pretty good package here in the bronze side if you want to, you know, get some good value. Obviously, Nature's Rebuke's really the nice target for your Force Protector. So Nova Gradian Justice is, you know, a power punch because it's going to get your volunteers out. Again, with the Precision Strike list, one thing I was running into is because of the dryads that go along with the leader ability and the volunteers, it was a lot of bricks. And so this way, only the volunteers are there for bricking. A lot, you know, less chances that you're going to run into them as a brick. Still be mindful. But, you know, that's another option to why I think the Nature's Gift version really has good options for us in Novigrad Injustice. So Shaping Nature, great echo card. Again, it's diverse. You know, if you need Veil, it'll go for 6. If you're in a short round where you don't have time for the Vitality proc, you can go 8. Or if you're playing it early, you can go for 5 and then give it 5 vitality. So certainly really, really nice. Again, you know, the other list is running Oak on the Precision Strike. You know, the thing is, Oak needs a long round. I like Elias because he's good in a short round. He doesn't play probably as much, you know, ceiling as Oak could have, but he's going to stay consistent where Oak really, you know, might not play for as much in a short round. So we really, really like him. You know, the only thing you have to make sure is that you are able to play a nature card and get a token out there for him to destroy. You know, we were very mindful to not get caught in a short round with him where we didn't have a token to damage. Because that could certainly be bad if you have to play him and, you know, you're killing a 5 to spawn a 6. You know, so really pay attention to that. So, Figus, you know, is nice because we do have engines that we want to protect. He is a good long round card, but, you know, we play a lot of Overwhelming Hunger. And, you know, his spawning the Rowdy Dwarf kind of helps you play around Mana Core and some certain other things, so a lot of value there. Isegrim's Council, interesting. So in the Devotion list, he is guaranteed to get your gourd as long as you've thinned your volunteers. Well, in this list, you know, right now, Isegrim's Council will get you a look at your Sage, or Elias, one of the two, and guaranteed to look at Fog. So that's kind of the nice options. We've got so many dwarves in the list, and you got to be careful about your volunteers that you've got to be careful when you play, Isegrim's Council. You'll see I played it one time and I actually got a gourd when I didn't want a gourd. So he's really risky on the dwarf side, but very up potential for Sage, you know, Elias or Fav. Becker's Rock Slide is so huge. It's nice to give you some breathing room on taking tall engines away. Certainly really, really nice. So I'll tell you what, Pavko I really like because he works in a short round. You know, because even though we have non-Scoiatael cards, doesn't matter. It's about what's on the board, and it's what you control. So you're always going to see 2 damage from him. The only time we didn't see 2 damage is if you're playing like monsters and they eat one of their own units to spawn rats on your side. That, you know, that kind of sucked. But other than that, you know, he's gonna demand removal, so having him behind a defender or boosting him up with some leader charges is really, really nice. So Fav is nice because she's going to allow you to get a bronze nature card, or, you know, she'll let you get council or shaping nature should you not see it. You know, obviously shaping nature is the best target for her. You know, so really good there. But sometimes, you know, with Force Protector, because you need the bronze in your graveyard set up, he was nice to get that for us if maybe we had Force Protector but nothing set him up quite yet. So here's where I started tinkering with the list, and you'll see it when we go over the other list. Treant Boar, in my mind, is such, unless you're in the old list where you're combining him with Myrna, who can move him, he really just is sluggish and slow. So I don't think we got a huge amount of value out of Boar. But, you know, he is a treant. He does have value in certain conditional situations. But that's the thing. He's too conditional. So you'll see that we switched into a different list for the treant Boar. So, gourd list. Obviously, want to make sure that you protect him from Heat Wave, Urden, get Last Day whenever possible to make sure that, you know, he doesn't get removed. Big card. Usually we'll play for 13 or 14. Sage is nice. You can get Sage, gosh, 12, 14 easily. You know, especially with Isegrim's Council, put him Sage behind a defender, or play Sage right away and use attack advantage on it. You know, like I say, if you're playing against monsters, make sure you're playing around Mana Core and getting a bronze nature out to get a Tenet spawn. But man, Sage, lots of value here. So then again, we come into our bronze package. Nature rebukes are huge. Obviously, you can play up to 3 of them. Really, really nice. Obviously, it's a good removal. Anytime you're killing a 5 or lower, and you got a tenant on the field, you know it's going to play for 7. And you know, lots of option because we are getting those tokens out. The volunteers, obviously, you never want to play them unless you're doing it with your justice. But if you do have one in hand, we have plenty of other dwarves that you'll be able to get use of out of, and then your your justice would be able to get another dwarf, possibly. So you know, kind of playing around the bricks. But ideally, that's how you want to use it. Pay attention to your Dryad's Caress here, because think about it, it only works with a Dryad. And this list, we're short on Dryads, heavy on Dwarves. So really, Fob's your only unit here that's going to get your Dryads to their max potential. So make sure that you're playing them in a unit when you have access to Fob already on the board. So then we finish out the bronze package with tempering, which works well with you know, the pyrotechnician to maybe get him full shield so that he can go for damage. But he's a RNG card, so him hitting the card that you want rarely, you know, is not always the case. And then Miner you can throw down to maybe help boost up Pavko or Sage or, you know, Boar, or something else you need to keep alive. So that's our list. We did really, really, really good with it. But as I was really getting ready to make the deck guide, I was like, man, you know, Boar kinda wasn't my favorite in the list, and what could we do with Dryads? So that's when I came on to the boost option side of it. So everything's pretty much the same except for Boar and the Pyrotechnicians are out. 2 Hammond Dryads are in, and because of that, because Boar's out, we put a Morana Runestone in, because again, it's a special card. It'll help your Gord out and give you an option. But there's tons of good 5s. So if you don't want the Runestone, you could put, you know, Thunder in for more control. You could even, I mean, you could try an Adrenaline Rush if you want to risk the condition there. But there's so many good cards that 5s play with that, you know, this is really, really optional. You know, there's plenty of special cards even at 5 that you could get in. So, and then that will allow you to have the Hamadryads in that would really, really maybe pair with your leader ability more. You know, Shaping Nature, you're going really tall if you go on Shaping Nature. But if you're confident that maybe you got Defender out, you know that your Defender's not going to get removed, and you feel like, hey, you can go that tall. But with Heat Waves and Curse of Corruptions in the board, I just, you know, that's why I chose the damage versus the boosty side. But, you know, I think that if you want to kind of go greedy, here's your option for the greed. You know, and like I said, if you get a list that can punish that greed, that could be the case here. So there's the 2 lists. You've got the damage side with the Pyrotechnicians, and you've got the boost side with the Hamadryads. Again, that would really make your Isengrim's Council play different, because you know, now you've got more Dryads and Dwarfs in the deck. So you know, it really would make this card a little more RNG. Regardless of what you go with, I'm looking forward to actually testing out this list more post video. But all the video will be on the Pyrotechnician Dwarf side. But I'll offer both lists, and then again we'll put the Precision Strike Devotion list in there that Team Kreve had for reference. You know, so 3 really, really good lists all in to have you no trouble getting to 2,500 with those lists. And with that, we will jump into a good mix of games that can show you what the list can do. Enjoy. So game 1 here is going to be against the list that I was talking about. It's a Devotion Precision Strike list, and it's an extremely good list. But I decided to go in a little bit different direction. I'm actually going to feature a Precision Strike list twice in the video. One will be later on, but I'll be able to kind of explain visually a little bit of the struggles I had with the list. But we were able, I feel like, in the matchups against it, and not just this list, but certain lists, if we had a great hand and we were on red coin, I feel like we could abuse red coin pretty well. And so I did. I was able to force the leader out several times against Precision Strike because we were threatening so hard. So that was, you know, always nice to be able to attack that hard. So, you know, because it's Precision Strike, it doesn't get a natural leader ability symbiosis. So it relies on, you know, your evolving card, the Dryad, just a couple different cards that have the symbiosis option when on the table. And, you know, those are cards that usually bait heavy removal. When I was playing it, you know, a lot of what people attack. You know, that's the one thing too. He's able to take our good engines off the board pretty quickly. But, you know, we love Sage because it plays well. I decided not to boost it. I figured if he had the Rebuke in hand, you know, there's no point in boosting it anyways. That's the one time, you know, you got to be kind of careful is to make sure that sometimes those boosts won't save you, and then you're just wasting a leader charge. So, because it's early in the round, you know, like I said, it'll get a natural boost. So we did the vitality on it. We've got Fauve in hand too, so our Nature's Caress will work nicely. You know, we can threaten. We got 2 Rebukes in hand. All of our special cards play pretty well. So we like our hand that it can threaten. So there we go. Yeah, he's matched our vitality. He does have symbiosis. So I think the one thing that I think people struggle with in the list is when to play Oak. Well, you know, do you play Oak with leader or without leader? And I saw a lot of people playing leader ability to get extra value on their Oak, which it is a nice combination, but chances are they, you know, you feel like, well, will you see a long round again? Will you get Oak in that value? So we did see people playing a lot of value there. Now obviously, I feel like he went in pretty hard on this game, but we were in a good position to keep threatening. And I felt like when I was playing that list, I was playing Oak more times in round 1 than not. So this, you know, what I've always said is it's nice to see Oneiromancy in your round 2 mulligans, because now, well, you can thin with it, A, and B, you know, if you were bleeding, you could bleed with it, and then, you know, secure your Oak, or secure your Gourd in round 3. So, it is always kind of a little nice when that comes through.
Feeling sleepy, grumpy.
So we're pretty sure that, you know, this is a devotion list, the same as ours. No heat wave, no Curse of Corruption or whatnot. So it's just a matter about outpointing your opponent here. So, you know, because we control FOV, those don't necessarily look too bad. But it's still a 6. That was a really, really good mulligan. We got pretty lucky there, because we need all the points. All the points we can get here. Really, I mean, honestly, at this point, it's probably just a case of who draws better. In a round 3, you know, both decks have the ability to push lots of points. Now, I think if opponent hadn't used leader ability and oak, I would have probably kept pushing, you know, and then they would have either had to get the oak out and then not get the value of the leader ability. So I really do think that the fact that he had used up his leader ability in round 3 is no short reason because of how hard we were pushing in round 1. I love being on red coin with a great hand. So again, now he's trying to get his Symbiosis rocking and rolling here. So because we didn't have a token on the field, we chose to play Force Protector so that we would get the value of the Rebuke versus playing the one in our hand. So here comes Ethne. So, you know, again, he's going to have plenty of options to get the Symbiosis rolling. We know our Isogram's Council is going to play into a lace for us, which is certainly nice. So that, you know, like I said, with that token on the field there, it's a nice chance to go ahead and get it removed and point slam. You know, this is, again, where I don't like Boar a whole lot, because it's just like, you know, you want to play him early, you want to have a Dryad on the board with him so that he gets value, but at that point, you know, I got to throw him on the board because he takes the most long round abilities to see value on him. I mean, it is nice he does heal if he does make it back to the... if he makes it back to the second row, he would heal. I think I'm just going to take the risk and get him back into safety. That Force Protector already has some carryover boost on it. The great thing is you know, he technically lost a point of value for having to go after a 4. We get to go after a 5, so that's always nice when you're getting 5 for 5s on it, plus the boost. So like I said, we have FOV, you know, plenty of... We've thinned our deck pretty well. We're going to get a pretty good gourd here, which is certainly nice. That he's getting all of that ability there. So I made a mistake here. I didn't play my FOB first. I sequenced that wrong right there. I made a mistake, and it cost me. It could have cost me the game. It was a really big mistake because I should have played FOB into Dryad's Caress first, and then played the second Dryad's Caress. So really, I mean, that was 3 points of value that I missed out on. I go ahead and go tampering here. Because we don't have enough time left to get the value, but I would have if I would have played FOB first. So a little bit of a misplay. We're out to a good lead, and we've got the board full, but opponents got some powerful stuff at the end here. So we do get one more boar proc, which was nice. And a Gorge. Oh, certainly playing nice here. Got the one extra proc for Oneiromancy. 76. So this list, you'll see, Isengrim Council guarantees you. So FOB's another tutor for Isengrim's Council into Gord, which gives Gord another 2 boost on top of that. But we still had enough to pull out the victory. So we're on blue coin here, and we want to secure a solid hand because we do not want a long round against, you know, Firesworn. It could be super problematic. It's important that we do get a good round. So it's interesting on the mulligan here. You don't necessarily need everything to be perfect, and it's risky to always kind of take that extra mulligan. What are you really chasing? So, we make the right decision here to leave it alone. So the one thing I do like about the pyrotechnicians is they do, similar to the Dryad, they bait removal. I mean, they aren't a great card. They're not a card I particularly care about, but they do seem to bait removal a lot of times. They're nice cards to get units on the board and not have to spend all your leader ticks on them. So here we're going to get Sage out. Boost Sage up. Of course, trying to play around Tavern Brawl, if possible.
Every lock holds the key to... No, wait.
So I'm prepared for a long round. Let's go ahead and defend her up. That'll stop him from targeting, even though they're next together. He can't target second card for the Tavern Brawl. So that was nice to eliminate that threat, essentially.
Can he cut cleanly when you squirm in a boot like that?
Novigrad Injustice and Gord, they're diverse cards, obviously syndicate cards.
Cleaver will break you in two.
So he's going after our defender, so we'll just go ahead. I was going to put tampering on the pyrotechnician, but I feel like, hey, let's put it back on defender. Let's really secure that removal, because again, assuming he has Tavern Brawl, especially with all the crimes he's put in there, I just feel like, man, if he can target 2 cards, we're in trouble. You see, I mean, really pushing pace here with us. Nice to get the volunteers out and regain the lead. I mean, I played for a lot of points. know, opponent is really going in hard. Especially trying to get around our defender. Yeah, this is a good time to get Fav rolling for us.
Wait, yes, they won't let us talk to strangers.
You know, Shaping Nature's available. Usually strongly suggest you take it. We've got a decent amount of round left, but we go straight for the 8. We could have. I mean, I think in this scenario, because we had Defender, you could have easily made the case to go for the 5 boost and the 5 Vitality.
Yes, you. Have you made
That
your
sucks. I
offering?
mean, that played for a lot of points. Still have the lead. But again, I don't want to give him round control. I want to win round 1. I do not want a long round against him. Again, you know, might as well get Boar rolling. I should have probably got it sooner. We missed. I should, you know, I guess you could say my placement was a little bit off. You know, I don't know why I don't put Fav behind the defender. We played right into whatever card that I'm going to shoot. You know, this card you don't see very often, but set it up to give him great value, so...
You shall be renounced,
opponent
my king.
just
Condemned
keeps
by your
pressuring.
children.
So we'll go ahead and use this opportunity to do some damage. Nervous about my boar crossing that defender line. We're going to go ahead and take the damage. Again, not a big lead. I mean, we were really threatened on... we have our 2 elves in hand, and we've already played our dryad. So really, the only thing... you know, I get a little greedy, but kind of stupid here. Because I'm like, man, I need max points. I want to play a dwarf, but I don't want to just play a dwarf in my deck. I want to use council. Because, you know, I have a bunch of dwarves to pick from. So I get a little greedy because I'm scared about losing on even here. So that's where I take a risk in it. This seems like it wasn't the best choice. Because it caught my guard. Which sucked. I was really hoping that this wouldn't happen. Certainly the risk you take. You know, yeah, playing Gord round 1, even though he does get the 2 boosts. He does play for good point. I mean, a 6 boost, and he's playing for an 11. It does put us decently outside the round. Yeah, our opponent threw a little BM our way. But he passed, so that was nice, right? The fact that he passed. And we do have a powerful short round card in our hand. Still, certainly nice. But I gotta bleed. You know, I'm down a card. We're going into round 2. I don't like their long round potential. We have very powerful cards still left in our hand. So, unfortunately, we had to get rid of the Rebuke because I had, you know, I need units to play onto. So I'm going to put Pavko out here.
Juiciest leaks in town. Get him here.
Boost him up. Really try to maximize my damage with him. Obviously, I don't have to get worried about playing special cards because, you know, my gourd is officially done.
Yes, you! Have you made your offering?
So it's nice when you feel like you know you're playing a devotion list. Because you don't feel like you have to worry about going tall. You always, I mean, again, you see some people do add different takes on different lists, so you always have to kind of be a little worried, is this, you know, doing something different, but we felt confident that he could get boosted.
I'll rip and tear until you're done for!
So we're gonna play
Clearly, I've a
Lace and get great value there. Go ahead and use our leader charges because we don't want to go tall. Make sure we use our Pavko rock. Oh, and boom, just like that, 27-7. We're up 20 points with a 10-point, potentially 12-point play.
Sure, the few survivors will be like animals.
So that worked. That was just too good not to take. And I'm trying to play around Tavern Brawl. I forgot we didn't even have a rebuke set up. That's right. So I had to go for I had to go for complete boost. We couldn't even take that out. A 40 to 18, 2 cards. He's got 2 cards to make it up. So even with the big mistake of playing Gourd, oh, we 2-0'd. And he had his own Gourd. I'll take it all day. So game 3 here is against a Blaze of Glory deck. You know, I actually had a lot of trouble finding a good Gilligan matchup. We played some odd lippy stuff. We kind of just played some kind of garbage. I don't know. Some of the lippy stuff wasn't that good. So this is about the best game I could find to. I give this credit, kind of a little bit of credit for you know, some uniqueness. The opponent does, I will say, kind of gives up in round 1 a little bit early than I thought. I'm not sure why, but pro rank sometimes. Yep.
A wee hint. Dunny jiggleless.
You know, this, I will say, the Skellige matchup is why I like the, you know, having the damage sides, because, you know, if we can give Skellige, you know, lower units to go after, might reduce some of the value, but still boosting up there. Got a discard package, warrior, some alchemy.
Neath the ground there's countless riches and corpses.
Yeah, I remember he got the 7 cards and just passed. I don't know. I don't know if he liked his hand. I'm not quite 100% sure. I mean, obviously, we had to go a card down, but I was prepared to. I liked my hand. I was prepared, I felt like, to go pretty deep into the round and possibly try to win on uneven, but I think maybe he was trying to thin. He didn't like it. Oh.
Have you seen a fuse lying about, have you?
But we'll take the win on the round and use our opportunity to bleed. So you see the Novigrad Injustice, get that volunteer out of there. It's nice to see a rebuke come in. Still a lot in our hand that we'd love to see. Really nice to get Defender there, whew, especially against Skellige. I mean, obviously he can get around it pretty easily with Defender, but better with that than
Can dwarves fight?
Heat Wave or something else.
Fish-pissing lakes.
We are thinning, we're pushing. I will say, you know, you have to be careful on the push. You know, obviously, you never want to push and end up a card down. So really judge your hand. I would say early on, I think that was my biggest mistake with the deck, was pushing in round 2 and not securing even cards so that I maintain last say.
Invent a way to accelerate time.
PM. Not even on my blue timer yet. He's already
invent a way
PMing
to
the hell out of me.
accelerate time.
I'll smash your mug! Shut the fight, you bastard!
It's nice to bleed SK. Say that much. I mean, the opponent has a powerful deck. I don't know if he managed it the whole way through quite perfectly, but it's a powerful deck. Got nice thinning. It's got a combination of the boats, alchemy. Gonna play.
Never ever whistle
And
in
I
a
still
mine.
feel like we're, you know, ahead enough that he'll need the 2 cards.
Poison beaks like a poison
Also sees
arrow
Crow Mother
heads.
value and Longship value. Think. Looks like possibly a good time to play Defender. Yeah, there we go.
You'll need take one wowing step further!
Put them. Oh, that's right. We're playing wide. I probably could have put that. I probably could have put that on the Defender, but really don't. I figured if he was gonna Blaze of Glory it, why boost it, and then just give him the points to remove it? I'm like, if he's gonna remove it, He's gonna have to play a 7 anyways for stunning blow. Toxic around it.
Clearly, I've a weakness.
Again, I like that we're going wide. I'm not too fearful of a Hemdall. Yeah, because we didn't go tall. That really didn't get any value there, and I thought, man, there's my pass. I didn't have a Dryad. I didn't have tall units, really, for Beckers. I didn't want to play Council. I think this is where I take my pass. I think a good pass that it was. Can we get to secure that final save for Gord? The card you don't see much. I mean, I give the deck credit. It's certainly a unique deck. I wonder if he was hoping because I was Scoiatael that I'd take the long round. I don't know. He's setting up his graveyard. Really? That's about all he did.
Let's go at 'em together.
Nice that.
I'll snap your neck.
Really hard down. So we'll go into round 3 with card advantage. Again, that's why I love the bleeding on this deck. I mean, it's certainly great bleeding. I mean, it sucks to not see Neuromancer earlier, but I know that we could get Sage going. We're looking at card. Now I think about it, we didn't have a lot of great things either. I mean, we just were seeing in round 3 our Echo card and our Neuromancy for the first time, you know. Certainly things are not exactly as how we, when we wanted to see them, but yeah, really against Skellige, I don't want to boost. Really don't want to boost too much. So it's nice that we get to play a little bit unobstructed, unitless per se. Glad we saved that Becker's Rock Slide. I mean, we had opportunity for it. The Grimace kind of sucks to see here because I'm like, man, now he can purify all of my vitality. So I'm like, well, I better hang on to my vitality. So with the Isagram, we'll, like I said, make sure we see our Sage.
No mercy!
Pen Ikea. Ted Dayred is nigh.
Yeah, this is another great thing about Fob, though. We're looking at, hey, we got a rebuke. We can punish that. Keep our units low, essentially. do we? Really searching everything. My graveyard, my deck, his graveyard. A lot to think about, I guess, for that decision, but whatever. Great thing is, I mean, we have Shaping Nature and Gord that are going to get a play untouched. In case of a Morkvarg or, you know, whatnot. See right here. Really, really nice. This is again why, you know, versus the two lists, this is probably why you don't want to be playing Hamadryads and a whole bunch of boosts. It's nice to play damage and try to punish. Yeah, get all the procs we can on it. Right back up. Very, like I said, very powerful last say for opponent. His last say, obviously. We're lucky we bled the deck and got it down a card. Or even his poor round play wouldn't have mattered. He would have gotten a one-up on us, so he played this very well. Straight boost. Go enough units, spread our boosts out.
Novigrad's a real deal, excluding the folk, of course.
So here's our overwhelming hunger game. Might actually show a second one. I'm not for sure. Just because, again, precision strike. And overwhelming hunger is what we saw the most of playing it, and I felt like we had a lot of different outcomes and a lot of different matchups with them. So maybe showing some of those different games might be nice to show. So, you know, here we are on red coin with a good hand. I'll tell you what, it's a scary place to be for the opponent. We can do some work. I go right away. I mean, we are all in. We are going to absolutely just go balls to the wall against this opponent. We know their Thrive curve allows some really, really good value, but we know that we've played around Mana Core with that.
How beautiful these golden fields.
Never ever whistle in a mine.
Really start to dial in on how we avoid all those thrives from. Yeah, I think most people will be able to see all those thrives and just think, hang with this deck right now. Not us.
Still beneath the sun.
When our queen comes out, that'll be a good remove target for us. Drives out. 2 thrives off the board, 3 to go. I said I felt very good about this deck against Hunger.
Get out, you baldy-faced baby! Ha ha! Leave it to us!
Just going in for straight removal. In the Frost, we'll probably get another proc, which again keeps us from completely pulling ahead. Again, we still have a lot of good options in our deck. Nice to see Treantborg get to work, essentially. This is one of the couple games where he saw really, really good value. Again, I don't even mind monsters passes on me, you know, essentially, and makes me have to go down a card the other round.
Silence.
Picked up. I mean, obviously, Werecat was playing huge here, but with no fear, we got to roll. Take lead back on even. Nice. Hopefully, opponent wasn't really hoping that he would have a fantastically huge round like that, so pushing. Again, I don't want to overcommit too much, so I'm doing just enough to stay ahead. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't want to play. I want to play the smallest amount of points I can and stay ahead. So that's all we're doing here. Look at that. I mean, we're forcing out his overrun right away, and that's just because he's how hard. And obviously, if he wouldn't have thinned, I mean, he had him in his hand anyway, but that would have been a great card if he had brought his riders out already. And it doesn't even matter. Yeah, we'll stay ahead here. So, worth the point. Maybe he's got Haunt or something left in his hand. It's something he just absolutely will not commit to this round. Cool. So there we go. We take red coin. Very potent. You know, we survived Thrives. We survived Frost. I mean, we overcame a lot and got a 1-point win. Really nice. Now we have options on what we want to do. I got monsters in this position a lot, I felt like. I mean... And then again, right where you want to see Gord. Because, you know, we get Oneiromancy in our hand in round 2. So we know... I know I can fully commit to a fat push here. With good cards, and then get Gord in round 3. Yeah, there's no need to redraw. We're good. Stage perfect opportunity here. Plus, again, we played around Mana Core. No Myrna value. And even if he does try to kill the 1 so that he can Mana Core, we'll play Shaping Nature and stop him. Or we've got Oneiromancy to stop him. We'll deal with another Frost. No Queen this time, so that's fine. I said the big question is making sure we don't brick our Elias so that you know, he's got a token to destroy so that not playing on bigger cards. That's the one thing that Frost had me scared of, is sticking to one unit there. Pavko. We're just, I think, afraid of going for the 3.0 Gordless, knowing that if we do go to a 3.0, that sucks. You know, again, this is where I know I need to play around Mana Core. I totally fell into that. That was on me. But if I was worried about the Frost getting me if the token, you know, spawned on the wrong row. So it's just unfortunate. Now I know, hey, I can go tall again. So sucked, but it's what it is. So there's a perfect pass too. I mean, so eventually it didn't hurt us that bad because we still got a very, very nice pass. No werecat value. But he would have loved that to have that in round one, wouldn't you? And again, going into monsters round, card up. So now it's playing around Myrna. Well, there we have, you know, Blaze, and you know, that's just such a powerful round 3.
Oh, I'm feeling sleepy, grumpy, dopey, and bashful.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to haunt here, which he's only gonna have one Death Wish proc. Right, so I mean, we really took advantage of the fact that he didn't see cards. Probably as much as he wanted. So here, you know, we're really making sure that it's all great RNG damage there. Fantastic. Damn it. Really nice. And then again, of course, we see Myrna, which only gonna take a 1 token.
Clearly, I've a weakness for wenches.
That'll do it for him. So, Precision Strike bonus game 1 here. Always nice to see Novigrad Injustice round 1. No Neuromancy, certainly nice too. That rebuke was huge for us. You know, especially because you have Tenant in hand, so amazing mulligans because, you know, like I said, we would not have the best options for our Force Protector had we not gotten that rebuke. We would have had Fauve. She would have helped iron it out, but then we missed shaping nature. So, you know, you're trading one poison for the other. But here, we get it all.
Don't know which is worse.
A little bit of different take on the other version. It's not the old meta version that you're seeing where it's just all carryover. There is some symbiosis in it, so.
Was it so plowing crummy?
But I don't suspect to have too many long rounds, so I figured let's defend her up. Let's maximize our round 1 potential. But, you know, the other thing about, I would say, playing defender here is, you know, sometimes, depending on how much carryover they have, it's not worth committing too much because they're happy to play their All God, their carryover, and pass and get out. And you've wasted good cards, and they've carried everything over. So that's the one thing that playing defender was probably a little bit like I was playing on red coin instead of blue coin. That's why I'm not playing Novigrad Injustice yet. I'm like, hey, I don't want to commit too much if this guy isn't really going to put too much forth. But we see that that's what got some of the carryover, so he is playing up a little bit. Rope. Going real tall. You must know that I'm devotion. Not worried about that. I really, you know, I never play the TA unless I absolutely have to. Unless I feel like I'm getting threatened on points. There's a couple times where we didn't even play it on round 1. As long as opponents were pushing, you know, I'm happy to get cards out. You know, I want short, small card rounds. For the most part. Looks like he's a pass here. We haven't even used our TA yet. Keeps going. Playing on 1 card. I'm debating passing, but I never like them to pass unless they are at a card where, you know, if I want to win, unless they're at a card where they can't pass their way back to full cards. So that's where I'm like, you know, it's probably a good point to start playing cards that we want to use multiple times, like Shaping Nature, and then even Oneiromancy. I go for the 5 because, again, I've got good cards left in my hand. You know, no need to worry about going too tall. But I do feel like that'll secure the round. And again, why I don't mind playing, not playing Oneiromancy here is because I know I can push hard round 2 and then have Oneiromancy for round 3. So that's kind of why I'm signaling, hey, I'm ahead on points. I want to be out because I feel like I've got a good bleed hand for round 2. And keeps going. But I really don't. To be honest with you, you could say this is a good time to play Novigrad Injustice, but I feel like, you know what? Hey, I'm not going to see long rounds. Pavko might be a good card to get out here. Sacrifice that he's not going to get huge proc damage for a long period of time, so be it. But again, I still feel like with leader and everything that could have, he could still take the round. So I'm just like, I need one more card. He's played a lot of specials too.
Today's gonna be a...
And that's why we don't commit Oneiromancy there, honestly. It's because I'm planning on winning. I want Oneiromancy for round 2, and I want Oneiromancy for round 3. But I don't feel like I overcommitted too much. Oh yeah, beautiful. I mean, I've got some, you know, I didn't play Novigradian Justice again because at first I thought he was just playing carryover, so I really was like, man, I don't want to overcommit. I don't want to overcommit. So we kept Novigradian Justice in our hand. That's gonna be a sick round 2 for us.
The only good human is a
Sage here.
dead.
Plenty
must
of value
re-examine
for
the
our special
manuscripts.
cards that we got. You know, I played this game where you know, do they have Gord in their hand? Or are they going to have to commit it? And that's kind of what you hope for, is that, like me, I've got Oneiromancy for my Gord. So technically, if you push me in round 2, you wouldn't get Gord out of me. I would Oneiromancy into something else. But not a lot of times are people in that position. So all gods coming. So you gotta expect his Dryads. We have a tenant. This is perfect nature's rebuke. That Sage is powerful. That 2-proc bonus. Oh man, that is so huge. So huge. So that's his first Oneiromancy. So you know, that was kind of like, hey, does he same deal? Does he not have to use Gord here? Will we not get it out of him? Which is fine. Honestly, I'm not so worried about that. I mean, he's still going for carryover, so I do get nervous that his board will be pretty fat, but. Hard. I really want to make him go down. I mean, or 2-0, you know. So he's got an Novigradian Justice in hand as well. Glad we saved ours, so his will have an extra bonus. The boost, but oh, that's right. This is not but we'll answer with a Novigradian Justice of our own, and we'll take the extra 2-proc bonus. Very much. I'm debating, like, am I 2-0ing? Should I proc? You know, how greedy do I want to get? Proc there. Always bad. Alright. That was some long decision on the... What am I doing for so damn long? Jeez. Oh. But thinking. But I'm glad we did not play on Dwarf, because we would have lost the rebuke range, so we still do maintain that. Yeah, well, we've got a 1 token on the board. It's so worth go ahead and hearing this.
Love is war.
Elren has shown us the way.
Great furniture card, by the way. Got a nice. Oh, I know why it was taking so long. I thought this might be Shiru. That's right. I thought it could be. I was still convinced it might be a Shiru list. So I really wanted to try and keep my units uneven. That's why I was taking so long. Yeah, I didn't want to. I wanted to make. I was trying to think about how he could proc my units to get maximum Shiru value. We got a 14-11. I mean, we point slammed hard. We're at 55 to 23. But I'm like, we either get the 2-0 or he's scored out. It's one or the other. He's already used a Neuromancy. It did suck that he had the speed wave. That was. And the math about how much his board is going to cost him. So now he has the full leader. But we did. We got Gourd and leader out of him. Oh man, that was nice. Be secure. Last save made him overcommit. Yes, because he was a couple points short. Real nice. Unit to put the Dryad's Caress on there. That'll probably work just fine. But we've got Gourd, he doesn't. I mean, how do we lose? In what scenario could we lose this game? I guess if he had, even if he had like a Zoltan's Company and a Oak, I mean, I don't know.
A wee hint.
So, like I said, we want to play uninteractive. So that's why I feel like there's no point in matching Pyrotech for Pyrotech. We Becker's Rock Slide here. Which is good. I mean, it wouldn't have damaged for a whole lot, but it still was damage.
Have you seen a fuse lying about, have you?
Let's rock there. For 5. Oh, no Geralt value, unfortunately. Ugh.
Let's get this over with.
I probably didn't need to play the damage here. Board. That's all we need. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the list. Thanks for watching.